Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with you. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote into chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw that back at me. Harold, thank you for hosting as always. Ultron's here saying sup back to you. As always, this is the pre-show. We're just going to hang out. We let some people come in that are like, oh yeah, that's right. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. It's time to watch a build stream with Pat Baer. We got Ultron, we got Lashbrook, we got Jam, we got Harold. Already off to a great start. Already got quality, fantastic folks here in the chat. And it's going to be a good stream. We are working on the Death Army 144 scale kit. Now, if you don't know G Gundam, this is your fodder mobile suit. This is controlled by some sort of entity. It is not even piloted by a person. It is the thing that you are going to slice and dice with your Gundam. There's two halves to this that are unusual. One, this kit came out in 2019, which is 25 years after the anime debuted. And two, there's only 2 stickers on the kit, and I already applied them. That's right. I already applied it. We'll see in the overhead later. The eye stickers are the only sticker. There's like 2 eye versions you can put on there. So I applied it ahead of time since it was just going to be that one sticker. Or the 2 stickers, really. Even for a 144 kit, a high grade usually has a few more stickers than that. Of course, this is a small kit. It's mostly odd that it came out in 2019. That's the weird thing. You'd think it would have come out early. This is the, a mobile suit you see in the second half of the show, mostly G Gundam, which is the first of the alternate universe Gundams. In general, previously, these shows had been like mobile suit and blah, 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 and blah. Timeline, jumping ahead, continuing the story. G Gundam is a different century. It is a alternate history. It's unique in many ways, including the fact that it's a fighting tournament anime. It is a fighting anime. It is the fighting side of shonen. Also, I'm going to cough. Because it is a shonen, and there are villains that turn out to be good people, and there's allegiances, and there's betrayals, and lots of betrayals and all that. The main character in G Gundam, Domon, is one of the most fully fleshed out and, best pilots. He's not necessarily the greatest out there. Oh, Urban Bohemian is now hosting the stream. Thank you for the host, Urban. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that. That's rad. But yeah, hello. Way back. We're going to get started with the build stream in just a moment. This is the pre-show show. But yeah, so G Gundam. I am having a great night. We just started the stream a couple minutes ago. We're going to get into building in just a minute. I'm giving a little background into G Gundam. So Domon, our main character, rad as hell. Has goals. Is a very shonen protagonist. Has responsibilities. Has some tragedy in his life. Has a love interest that he is it's just hard for him to be honest about. But when the chips are down, he's getting stuff done. He's got a strong sensei, master character. He's got a family as the story continues. He becomes a leader. He gets a power upgrade when he needs it. It is a real shonen story. And it makes sense that the show directly after G Gundam is Gundam Wing, which takes it even further by adding multiple pretty boy characters. I'm going to cough. Making them younger, involving school, involving, just lots of more angst. Wing continues that. Now, to be fair, to be honest and earnest, I don't recommend people watch G Gundam. G Gundam does not hold up. Domon is still a cool character. Master Asia is still a cool character. There is coolness in that show, but there's also a lot of stereotypes. Because it is a fighting anime of characters representing their colonies, which are just the remnants of countries, you get very stereotypical, like, well, that's Neo Mexico, and that's Neo Australia, and that's Neo Canada, and that's Neo Russia, and that's Neo America. Whoo, it's rough. It's rough. And then there's also sexism. Don't get me wrong. There's also sexism as well. But it's a lot of just it doesn't work. Let's go to the overhead. Oh, one final thing about this kit as we bring up the overhead photo. We get to the building portion. Start building. So this, you might have known this as the Dark Army mobile suit, not the Death Army, because in the English dub of G Gundam that aired on Toonami, they called it the Dark Army instead of the Death Army, and I get it. But also, the changes that were made to make it better for television don't really hold up in my opinion, because there's a lot of stuff that's inappropriate about this that was fine. And you're like, we built the Noble Gundam last year, which is a weird dichotomy because it is awesome that it is basically a Sailor Scout mobile suit Gundam. But it also sucks because it's like, well, the female pilot, huh? Well, don't worry, it's got a skirt and high heels and a ribbon weapon. It's tough. It's got boobs, and it's just like, part of it is very cool and part of it is not very cool. It lives in both worlds, which is G Gundam, honestly. So as I said, 2 stickers. We've got 2 eyes for this kit. I'm going to expand this so you can see it. We are going with this eye because why would I go with the other eye? The other eye is just is like a diamond green. You can kind of see it there, but it's going to be fuzzy. And we're going to go with this one, which is which as you can see in the photo, is the eye that looks like it is hypnotizing you, because these kits are mesmerized. The Death Army is no joke, folks, and we shouldn't treat it like a joke because it's not a joke. It's deadly serious. The Devil Gundam is unbelievable. The Devil Gundam is a mobile suit, is a Gundam coming out of Snake-wise, coming out of the head of a giant Gundam head, and it's incredible. Yes, Ultron. Also, this thing has a club rifle, which doesn't make any. It's basically like someone saw a bayonet at the end of a rifle and went, well, what if instead of a knife, it was a club? And what if instead of coming off of it, it was also the barrel? It's a club rifle, and that doesn't make sense, but it's also very cool. Yeah, as far as fodder goes, I love this more than, a lot of your typical fodder for mobile suits that are just going to get beaten up. Because it's got style. It's got personality. Look, the Leo is great, but don't get me wrong. But this thing's got... It's got a personality to it. You understand why, like, a bunch of these showing up would be menacing. Lashbrick says that he's been researching G Gundam recently. Most of these have 4 legs with the backup pair of normal legs. Yeah, Lashbrook. So the Devil Army, or the had a lot of the Death Army, I should say, Devil Gundam Death Army. The Death Army kit mobile suits were very versatile because they were meant to annihilate what's left of Earth. And also because the the service. There's a lot going on with this show. I don't got time for it to get into all of it. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's good nonsense, but it's a lot of nonsense. Um, but yeah, this is just fodder. This is something for uh, the good guys to just slice and dice their way through, or people will be like, "Oh, yeah, no." Uh, all right, so we'll go here. Um, they're not like the Megamac. I can't remember the name of it. Whatever the OVA, the Endless Waltz OVA from Gundam Wing, where they were like, "Are the serpents?" Yeah, the serpent. That's what I'm thinking of. The serpent, where they're just like, "Let's just try to be a mobile suit based on the heavy arms," which I think is a cool idea. Uh, we did see the last night in our wrestling show when I did live wrestling commentary over matches in the fantastic Fire Pro Wrestling world. We did see the gun cannon defeat the Barbatos, which was very surprising to some people. Wasn't surprising to me. Well, because I knew it was going to happen, but also because that you can't keep a good gun cannon down. Normally, you would see the pieces that we're getting out of here, the 1/4 scale. Normally, you would see these kind of rubberized. These are plastic. There is some rubber components here, some rubber connectors, but these are, yeah, traditionally plastic, which is odd. They look like they would be rubber connectors, but they are not. Um, yeah, this should be a pretty quick build. We will finish it today. Naruto was robbed. Yeah, Naruto just got unceremoniously like tossed out. It was shocking. Uh, I mean the Alex the fact that sorry, oh, yawning. Sorry about that. That Alex the Wolf Navarro got eliminated so fast was like shocking, but not super surprising. But well, yeah, folks thought it was going to be Naruto's game, but you can't keep a good pirate down. The pirates did incredibly well. Both Sanji and Luffy, the Straw Hat Pirates, really showed their dominance, I should say. I mean, we saw Sanji win the first bout and then do a spin-a-rooney. But yeah, Alex just got dumped out. We thought it just, as I said, I almost restarted that match when I was recording it, but I didn't think he'd actually been eliminated because I didn't realize that you could get eliminated by being tossed out under the ropes because they don't have it programmed to actually send you over the ropes properly. We didn't get a chance to talk Road Quest the other night. What did you think of the finale? So Harold, there are two things I will say. Overall, I enjoyed the like we're not actually done-ness of it. Um, uh, yeah, I liked it. I know there was some dropped stuff here and there. I think the last two episodes were the weakest, which is bad. I think that, in my opinion, despite liking the series overall, I think that the last good moment of the show was Ian's arrival in the truck, and I didn't really love the rest of it as much as other things that happened throughout. I don't think it ended as strong as it could have. I don't know how it would have ended stronger, but yeah, didn't hit me as hard. I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the series as a whole. I think it's a fun watch, but yeah, um, I think that my enjoyment of it kind of decreased as it went along towards the end. I did watch the Q&A. Um, which led me to overall, uh, they answered a thing I wish they hadn't. They, I, I wish they hadn't told me that. Look, did I think? Did I suspect that Beej was going along with it and didn't know about that course and didn't know what was happening there? I'm sure I suspected it. Would I rather have thought that Beej knew about that abandoned airfield and that it was his idea? Yes, because I did think that one of the most interesting things about RoadQuest was the idea that, well, here are tasks from, like, you don't often see in reality programming rebellion. It's huge moments. The idea that because they trust each other, that they could find their own fun. Because there are moments in the show, because there are moments in the show that are them finding their own fun. Like, because I have not been told otherwise, still believe that while it's not necessarily my favorite segment in the show, it felt like hopefully, that the gun, the shooting contest felt like didn't feel like a thing they planned. It felt like a thing that Alex wanted to do. But I don't know. And now I have to question every idea that wasn't a text message from Graham. And I'm bummed about that because I was believing the lie that was Beej's grand plan because they presented it as such. And I understand reality television isn't reality. It's scripted by editors. And reactions are sometimes taken several times. And there are obviously a lot of moments in that show that are just completely a thing that they created in the moment, and character interactions and, like extensions of their own personality by character. I mean that. And there's a lot to there. But, yeah. Like, the idea that I wish I didn't know that one, and I definitely wish I didn't know that it was mostly agreed upon, even though it was their idea as performers, as people doing the driving, that they weren't going to go the way that they were told to go, and they were going to go a different route. And the fact that that was like canceled that day is better than, oh, this was the plan all along, and the fact that, like, Serge had gotten hotel rooms and all that, the mutiny element of it. But because, and it's still true to this day, there's an incredible moment that happens in the first season of The Real World. Okay, so folks, the first season of The Real World is boring by most accounts. Most episodes of the first season of The Real World are not great because they let the cameras roll the whole time and they didn't know what was going to happen. And there are some incredible moments in it, but it's mostly just like whatever. One of the things that is really fun is they broke into the production room. In this house that they had rented, they had a production office with cameras and editing and all that. They were doing it in-house, or cameras and all that. They break in, and you see the people who have been filming. And it's this whole thing. And then, yes, there was a relationship that had apparently sprung up with one of the people when they were traveling in the campers, and that's not good. But there's this whole, like, mutiny element to it. And it's in a show that was still pretty real, it's incredibly real and interesting, and it's the only thing of its kind. The closest being is when Irene leaves Real World Seattle, which was like a really real moment, which is one of the last real moments on The Real World. Because they learned in London. London is the last time where they, like, packaged it after the fact and had to, like, make things happen. Like, London was just boring, and they were like, oh, if we're going to take people out of their comfort zone and out of where they live and out of where they're comfortable, uh, we have to like create events like that's why you started seeing real world things that had like they had like a job or a task or something like that because the playwright didn't do anything. There's a character in real world London, a guy in real world London, she's not a character, a person who was supposed to be the playwright, and he just was depressed. He was just depressed. Like that. And then there was a guy who was a DJ, and he got his tongue bitten almost off. And that's the only thing he did the entire season because he was just a DJ, and he would go and DJ and didn't want to be in the house. So, like, that's just a weird season where, like, nothing happens. Uh, so, to bring it back to what we were talking about with Road Quest, which is a reality show about this cool drive, inherently, uh, the concept of, well, we trust each other so much and we're all funny people, we're going to find our own fun and engage in our own things and do our own things is very appealing to me. Uh, well,
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again, please?
apparently Siri thought I was talking. Siri just was like, hey, I don't understand what you just said. What do you mean appealing? I wasn't talking to you, Siri. Relax. Um, so anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by Siri, um, to find out that those were planned things didn't have to be that thing. Uh, I get just as much satisfaction, in my opinion, knowing that they were like, hey, you're going to be doing this drag race between the cars. That to me is just as fun as this fake thing where Beej like, we're going this way because they told him to say that. And then they have to invent, and he doesn't know what he's saying. I like that part. I'm like, I don't enjoy that. Uh, I'd rather live the lie that like, oh, Beach did his research and knew there was a cool thing here. Like, please don't tell me that Alex didn't, that the sharpshooting contest wasn't Alex's idea. I believe that Ben will just jump into things. There are things that happen in the show that I believe are true. I believe Ian's car, the breakdown, and then having to figure out who's going where and all of that. That all feels real and true. But to find out that some of it was staged makes me question everything, and that's a bummer. But it's reality television, so like it is what it is. Even if it's reality television made by people that I trust and enjoy. They're still performers. They're still doing a performance. It's just that some of the performance I didn't love. But overall, I still enjoyed the show very much. And I am, I would recommend it. There's some goodness there. But yeah, watching the Q&A, there was just some times where I was like, oh, yo, boo, okay. Yeah. I can talk about CES if folks want to hear about CES. I don't, that PlayStation 5 logo is sure a PlayStation 5 logo. So that's cool. Sure. Let's see. What else coming out of CES? There's a wireless phone charger that's a fanny pack that was apparently was a Kickstarter item, and now it's like ready for prime time. Like they're gonna release it, and you can purchase it. But it's just like a fanny pack where you unzip it and you just it's wireless charging. You just put your device in the bag, and that's the wireless charger instead of like the pad wireless charger that you put the phone on. You just put it in your fanny pack, and that's great. I think that rules. Like I was very interested in that as a concept. All right, yeah. So as you see, I picked this eyeball here. That's the eye I picked. So we finished that. We did the chest, and we did the head, and now we're going to start working on shoulders, and we can build 2 sets of shoulders. But that was the thing that stood out to me the most. If you have anything about CS that you saw that you were like, oh, well, this thing is cool, let me know. But, I don't look at televisions because I just don't, they don't appeal to me. Alienware's Switch is interesting. Like the idea of Steam on the go is, as someone that has a gaming laptop that is very heavy, but I also don't really game on my gaming laptop, like it's interesting. Uh, and the fact that they're just like, yes, we are inspired by the Switch, instead of just being like, this is just a thing we made. Like, good on them. For not being like, yeah, right. What do you mean? Was it the fact that the PS5 logo looked exactly like I thought it would, like the goof? So I don't think it was a joke. I mean, Ultron, I don't know. Good evening to you. Welcome, Starspark. We're working on our Death Army high grade. So Ultron, I mean, like, to me, it's the fact that it was just like, Sony has time here. They're going to talk about the PlayStation 5, and they're just like, check out our logo. So that's the clowning, Ultron. It's that they had time at this event, and they were like, we're going to talk about PlayStation. We're going to talk about the PlayStation brand, and we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5. And then they showed a chart of sales, which is very old school E3, and also old school CES. Like, that's not a CES thing really these days anymore. And then they were like, and cool, and now here's our big reveal about the PlayStation 5. Even though you've seen the box for the Xbox and you have the name for the Xbox, here's this. Yeah, Ultron, here's the thing. If the logo was weird, that might be something. But it's just like, that's not exciting. Like, that's not new. The news is, oh no. Y'all. Yeah, so that was the big thing. People were just like, come on. It's still probably better than, was it Asus? Whatever company was like, and we're going to be doing things with the Xbox. And they showed like this like thing of what the Xbox like is going to look like, the new Xbox. And then people were like, oh, is that what the back of the Xbox is going to look like? And the Microsoft would be like, no, it's not. They bought this 3D render they bought off a website. That's what the old Xbox looks like, not the new one. They just lied to you. They done goofed and lied. I thought that was pretty funny. What if instead of using the Spider-Man font, they used the Venom logo? There you go. That's cool. That's some nonsense right there. That would be interesting. Or if they, or hey, how about? You show me a fake. Well, here's the thing. If you show me a fake bad one and then you show me the real one, I'm gonna want that fake bad one. So I'm gonna take back my suggestion of doing a fake out and being like, here's our logo, because anything you pick, even if it's bad on terrible, people will be like, I like that one better, because you can't win with people. And also, I say that with the understanding that I am poo-pooing them not taking any risk, which is in and of itself me saying, like, you can't win. But I also think it's bad. I also think that it's bad. But yeah, that render thing was like a very, like, just the Microsoft that put a press release going, that's not what it looks. No. And they were like, no, they bought it off this website. That's not what our thing is. It is, to me, funny. But also, like, that's just, come on, y'all. No. Somebody had to be like, wait, what did they say? No. No. Um, but yeah, I mean, there was like a new Chromebook that apparently is good, and it was a Chrome. I can't remember what company was putting it out, but it's a Chromebook that looked good, and that's surprising. That had like some style to it. Uh, there's that gaming computer that also has a like a gaming PC that also has a console in it, which I guess would be cool for streaming, maybe, but also seems like what do, do you need that? Because also I know there's some people who they have a very good quality monitor and they swap their inputs to that monitor and they use their monitor as their television uh, for gaming as well. But I would assume that most people don't use their computer monitor as their gaming monitor for consoles, and they'd rather have their computer just be their computer. But I don't know. There's a laptop where it closes the top. It's also an e-ink string. I saw that, yeah. Yeah, console built in. So yeah, it's like built into the case. It's inside the case. It was weird. It was a weird looking thing. And then there was also another like foldable phone that apparently is better than the last foldable phone, but like I don't give a shit about that. I do not care about phones. Do not care about phones. So like I'll never care about that because I just don't care about phones and what they look like and what they do. Just never going to appeal to me. But yeah, there's some cool laptop things. Let's see. I kind of want a foldable Razer Zip phone. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just, I just know that that's not a thing. Like, I don't have a big phone. I have a phone. This is my phone. It's larger than my old phone. It works, and I'm happy it works. And that's the extent of it. I wish that my phone had a headphone jack, but that's it. That's the only thing I really care about. My one regret about my phone is that it doesn't have a headphone jack. But other than that, whatever. What was I going to say? Let's say something. Oh, yeah. So people were into that. There was like a smart washing machine and dryer, and like that's fine. That digital lock thing. There's like, because there's a bunch of companies, smart locks, right? There are a bunch of companies that make smart locks, but one of them, the new version is like, you don't need an adapter to put it on the Wi-Fi network. It has built-in Wi-Fi now, which is interesting. Like it's an interesting idea. That like, and also it's smaller, and you can just like, it's basically like an aftermarket thing you can put on your own door to like turn it into a smart door. There's something to that that's interesting. I don't know. Here's the thing. Even if I don't know if it's good or not, it feels futuristic. Like opening a door, unlocking and opening a door with your phone feels like the future. So I'm into that concept. If it works, if it's good, I don't know. And the same thing with like keycard doors felt like the future, but now they feel like it just feels like like it feels like you're living in a hotel. I don't know. It's weird. My parents' car doesn't need a key to start. My parents got a new car, and I didn't understand it fully, but like, because I don't pay attention to car tech, but like, they have a fob with the key, but if they unlock the door and then get into the car, my dad just like puts the fob near the ignition, and then it'll start up. And there's a way to like turn that off, but he doesn't need to like put a key in the ignition. I don't know. There's something about that that's pretty cool. Like I said, I don't keep up with car stuff. So I don't know all of it, but I was like, that's kind of cool. I ended up, yeah, like I got my phone to work in my parents' car as we were driving, and that was kind of nice. I got a year of Sirius XM, and I got to. My dad was asking me a lot of questions about Sirius XM, and I was like, I have no answers for you. I was like, I have not. I don't own a car. Sirius XM became a thing after I moved to New York. Like the entire length of satellite radio. Here's what I know about satellite radio. Howard Stern is on it. You can pay to have it work on your devices, so you can have it like on your computer. I think that's it. They got free SiriusXM and a lifetime of emails asking to resubscribe. Probably, yeah. I'm sure. Um, but like, I don't know much about it. So my dad's like asking me questions. I'm like, I don't know. I just want to be helpful, but it's never come up before. There used to be there. I think there's still a comedy. Oh, okay. The comedy Sirius XM comedy station was or is called Raw Dog Radio, and that's terrible. That might not have been the comedy one, or that might have been a comedy one. I can't remember, but I remember that being a bad name. Uh, but a couple shows that I teched at UCB were like broadcast ones that would work if you didn't have images. You just like funny sketches. One of the shows I teched was on Sirius XM. Like you would just hear the whole show. And I remember that being very weird that like my voice like doing lines like from the tech booth was like on satellite radio. I always just thought that was weird. Alright. Was that there? Was that there? Let's see. One. We are working on the arm here. Working on the right arm. So we're gonna get some stuff done there. But yeah, when it comes to like car tech and stuff, I didn't look at any of that from CES. Like television stuff, I didn't really pay attention to. I've been a little relieved because so I follow 3 tech bloggers or tech YouTube channels. Um, Bitwit, uh, let's see, Bitwit, Jay's 2 cents, and what's the third one? I forget the third one. I'm gonna go on my YouTube and look it up. Let's see here. I literally don't know why I can't remember this dude's name. Let's see. Paul's Hardware. Paul. Why did I forget Paul's name? I like all 3 of them. They're generally down to earth. They're interesting. I think Jay of Jay's 2 cents is really an interesting dude. Dabafet just subscribed. Thank you, Dabafet, for following. I should say not subscribing. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. We'll give the old applause there for giving a follow. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Jay of Jay's 2 cents didn't go to CES this year, and I love it because I don't think that CES coverage from the stream video people. Oh, you love Gunpla? Awesome. Yeah. Well, this is a Gunpla and Lego building a channel. I do game streams once a week, but it's primarily Gunpla and Lego. We're working, on our on this here. Jolliv is now following. Thank you, Jolliv, for the follow. Give you the old soundboard. The soundboard that was a Christmas gift, our silly soundboard. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're just talking CES stuff right now as we do some building. But yeah, Jay is not there. And because in general, I think that most of the time, you're like, what should I build for my first Zaku? So I'm not sure if I understand what you're asking. Are you saying that you want to build a Zaku, and which Zaku should you build, or is that like is that the question, or are you talking about like a mobile suit in general? Because there are a bunch of them. Which Zaku should I build? Okay. Well, most recently we built the RE100 Zaku. Was it the Zaku 2 FZ? Right? Yes. I like the RE100 build. I love it because it's got that forest green color. This is a really fun one. So that's the most recent Zaku 2 that we built, and I really did enjoy it. The FZ. And RE100s are fun because they're like high grades that are a little more complicated. So I think I would recommend that one. Because there are a lot. As Ultron says, there are so many. Ultron is not wrong. There are many, many. But that's the most recent one we did. Also, I really appreciate the RE100 line. You're looking at the HG Comet. Ooh, that is a good one. I'm about to build the Psycho Zaku. Nice. The HG Gundam, the Origin. CS is good too. I mean, look, like I said, there are a lot. What's that one that's like white? There's one that's white. I'm looking it up now. We might have said it in the comments. Because that's gorgeous looking. Maybe I have that. I don't know if I have that in there. I might not have that on my wish list. But that is, oh yes, that is the custom Zaku 2. It's a high grade. It's the Shin Matsunaga. The Shin Matsunaga Zaku 2 is just white, and it looks very cool. Hey, look, a red Zaku is gonna look great. You're not gonna go wrong with Char Zaku. But yeah, that white one is pretty neat. There's a lot, right? The RG, yeah. I think 90 Fins of the pink. Yeah, I can see that. So real grades are tough to build on stream for me. That's also, we're building this 144 scale. I love the 1/100 scale. That's my preferred scale for building on stream. Just because, like, I think that the 1/100 scale just is easier for people to see as I'm building. It's easier for me to assemble. We've been doing a bunch of 144 because they are, especially the high grade 144, are priced right. They're decently priced. Crossbone. I mean, I'm not going to fight you about the Sazabi being one of the best kits of all time. I love the Sazabi. No, but master grades are where it's at, right? Especially like modern master grades. More affordable with high grades. Yeah. And even the 1/100 scale high grades, which, you don't see a lot of. I think that just like the RE100 line, the full mechanics for Iron-Blooded Orphans split the difference well in that there's something unique to them while still being cheaper than a master grade in most cases, but still giving you a lot of cool stuff to do with it. I have a real soft spot for that set. Uh, the Master Grade Baratos is on the docket. It's coming up. That Master Grade is out, not Ground Style. Indeed. I have it. That Master Grade. It is one of 2 kits I'll be building next when this kit is done. I have that. I have that, and I also have for folks that are new to the stream, I have a wish list, and people buy stuff off the wish list, and then I build that ahead of stuff in my backlog. So that Master Grade, the Baratos Master Grade, is something I bought. So I would like to build it, but I have things that other people have bought for me, so they take precedent. Because I'm grateful that folks have bought things. Like this kit was purchased by the real Taltos. Shout outs to Taltos for picking up this kit. So I have an Exia to build that was purchased for the stream. But I also have a car to build. Which is going to be interesting. Was the RD, right? I got to look up the actual name of it. Came in the mail today. It is a glue kit because it is, in fact, hey, here's the thing. Even though it's from an anime, it's still a car. So they did it that style. The RD 3S, the RX-7 from Initial D. The yellow one, a.k.a. the Red Sun's yellow car. And I got to build that. This is not snapping together right, and I don't know why. So we're going to take a second here to look at this and see what I'm doing wrong, see if I can correct my mistakes. This goes here. This looks like this. We do this one first. Up here. And then we'll do the second one, which will go like this. And these should snap together. And they don't. So we'll take a second here to see why they aren't. The G40 Industrial Gundam. Yeah, Lashbrook. Oh, I know I'm going to buy that at a convention. I just know it. I'm not going to... I know that I'm going to be at some anime convention or pop culture thing and where Bluefin is at, or Blue Brands, and I'm going to... I know I'm going to get it. I just know it. I'm just going to have to. All right, so I'm a little unsure why this is not working right. Let's try it like this way. There we go. We got it. We did it. We're good on the arm. Moving on. Amazon has photos of painted kits in the store pages, and it's bullshit. That's not what they look like out of the box. We just had that, not grind style. So we just built, what was the last thing we built? The Zogok. We built the high-grade Zogok. And it has the photos have a heat blade. So it's like, so its sword is gonna be black or dark gray, and then red, the heat blade, and that looks cool. No, that red that's on the fucking box is clear. It's got a clear one. I was furious. Because it's just bullshit. Like that's not what you said. You can't just be like, this is what it looks like. And then you get, does a clear blade look good? Yeah, the clear blade looks good. But it wasn't just like in the booklet. It was on the side of the box. Very frustrated with that shit. That's not what that's not what you said. And it's like I said, it still looks good. I still like the clear, and I like it better than the black of the alternative. But I was excited about that heated up blade. Yeah, exactly. Tell me what it's gonna look like. I understand you're like, well, these production photos are with markers and whatever, and this is here's a render of it, blah, blah, blah. But on the side of the box is like, if I'm going to a hobby shop and I'm looking at the side of the box, I'm not going to then go online and look and go to like Gundam Planet and like look up actual production photos done by fans to see what it actually looks like. I'm not going to read a review, watch a YouTube video of someone who built it. I'm going on the box. Yeah. MG Full Armor Gundam. No, I haven't seen. Dab, I have not built one of those. No. I think the worst part is that the unpainted looks good usually. Yeah. Look, as I said, I'm not somebody that that is something I'm going to try to do this year. Is I'm going to experiment with using some markers because that's not a thing I've ever really been into, and I'm interested in trying that out because I think it would be me figuring it out in the same way that last year me doing the AE86 and doing my first car like was interesting to me to like, and I think the process was kind of fun of like watching me like kind of figure shit out as I did it, doing my first like glue kit. I think it'll be fun to do markers, but like, yeah, they're definitely not necessary for everything. I would say like a 100 high grade. Sometimes markers, I'm sure like and panel lines like do make it stand out, especially like some of the earlier ones, but you don't need it. Sometimes they just look good. Starting with panel lines is a good idea, especially because of the low entry cost. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna that's where I'd like to start is to kind of try it out because, like I said, I don't have any experience doing it, but I do have an interest in it. So I'm gonna see how it works, and it'll be a cool process to kind of go along the lines of it. There's been something nice about doing this, but like these kits have been like obviously like the eyeball was a sticker, but doing low sticker work has been kind of nice to just like try stuff out and figure things out. Like the beginning of the year, it's been nice to have like some low sticker kits. Even though if so, like I said, if somebody's going to pick up if somebody wants to pick up for me one of those One Piece ships that I have on my wish list, like, hey, go ahead. I'll build it and enjoy it. I like those One Piece kits, but they are sticker heavy. A lot of stickers on those kits. Good night, Harold. Take it easy. I will see you on Saturday. Have a pleasant one, my friend. All right, so we're going to continue with this. We're doing the hand here. And then we'll do the other hand very soon. Or the other arm, I should say. Because, yeah, there's not a lot going on here. We're going to do the one that will hold things. So, 24. And 28. All right. Oh, wait. Gotta mix this up. We'll do this one instead. All right. Well, in a couple moments, we will take our pause for the cause. It'll be our first like break of the our only break in the night, I should say. We'll do that in a moment or two, but I will just take a brief time to get this thing going here. I'm going to do this. I don't know how this one. All right, we'll figure this out later. I'll figure out that other hand later. And of course, second half of the stream, I will talk about the anime that I watched since our last build stream because it's a new season. We are in the winter season. The way anime calls their seasons is they do winter, spring, summer, and fall. So the winter is the beginning of the year, and fall goes into December. And does it make perfect sense? No, but it works. I did watch The Witcher Knockground style. I was with a friend and we binged through The Witcher because I don't right now have Netflix, which is why there's only one show this season that I would have watched. There's a dragon hunting thing where it's like a steampunk show with blimps that I was like kind of interested in checking out, but it turns out that's Netflix only, and I'm not doing Netflix right now. So I did watch The Witcher with a friend. We binged it. It was a very good throwback to the Hercules Xena made for syndication style of show. Cleopatra 2525, Andromeda, that style of nonsense. It was a very good one of those. And so I enjoyed it as that. Some good characterization, some fun stuff. I have not read any of the Witcher books, so I cannot compare it to the books and how it handles that material. But I got what was happening, and I enjoyed what I watched of it. I thought it was like fun. I think the pilot isn't that strong, but I also don't fault shows for having a weaker pilot. Pilots are fucking hard, y'all. Like, it's hard to be like, hey, here's the reason why you should watch this. I haven't heard anyone mention Cleopatra 2525 in a while. Yup, right? And Lex, yeah. The more girl talks, the better it gets. Yeah, no, look, as all of the actors in the show start getting the rhythm of the show and it keeps going, I think it gets better and better as it goes along, as they're like kind of figuring out what the show is and why they're there. It takes a little while, but once it gets going, I enjoyed it. Yep. Yeah. Henry Cavill, I think, does a great job. Also, hi, Dirty. Happy to have you here, my friend. If I haven't said hi before. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like it's not. If you want to compare it to even The Mandalorian, which is like the thing I would say about The Mandalorian is, you don't compare The Mandalorian to. You compare The Mandalorian to the Clone Wars cartoon. You compare The Mandalorian to the Christmas special. You don't compare The Mandalorian to movies, because it's a TV show. So yeah, people are like comparing The Witcher to like Game of Thrones. I'm like, I guess you could do that, but that's not what this is. It's like that's not what they're not doing a big budget break the bank. You should compare The Witcher to Vikings. And I think that compared to Vikings, it's like, oh yeah, this is really fun and interesting. But comparing it to something that like no, it's not. It's not going to be what it isn't. Compare Mandalorian to Mantis. Look, Dabafet, I like The Mandalorian. I do think that sometimes it is oddly, weirdly slow, and it's like kind of an odd thing, but it's a fun adventure series, and I want other stories set in the Star Wars universe. Like some of the comics have been great. Yeah, like it's a TV show. Like like I don't mind a Monster of the Week, or did it feel sometimes too formulaic? Yeah, sometimes it felt too formulaic. Like, I wonder if these people are going to turn on the Mandalorian. Oh, they did. And then he like accidentally got the job done. Okay. Like, yeah, sure, all right. That's the show. Okay. Come along for the ride. There is a like I want to see now it's a little different. it's a little different now because we now know that that there's a portion of stormtroopers who were kidnapped as children or orphaned and who were raised to become that. But when I didn't know that, the idea of a bunch of stormtroopers who were like in the like movies past like 7 or whatever who are just like, I don't know, I got this job. Like the idea of doing like Hogan's Alley, but it's just like bumbling stormtroopers just like fucking up all the time. Like that to me was interesting. Uh, and there was something there. Now it's like a little more sad. But you know, like there are stories to tell in the Star Wars universe that I'd be interested in. Yeah, I don't know. Like I want really dark Star Wars. Yeah, I understand that. I want like look, uh there's a College Humor series that they just basically did that. Like they basically did jokey stormtroopers, and it's pretty good. But like yeah, like give me like heist movies. Give me action adventure stuff. The Mandalorian kind of does hit that like thing. Indeed, not grind style. RP College Humor. And Dorkly, if there's any Dorkly articles that you like, that you have like tabbed, like and bookmarked, you should go rip those or screen grab those because that's gonna Dorkly is definitely going away. A lot of article stuff is going to be lost. It'll be so a lot of it will be archived, but some of it is very ephemeral and will just be gone, which is just a bummer. All right, I'm going to finish up this arm, and then we will take our pause for the cause, where I will very quickly just run through ways of that you can support the stream if you're so inclined. Yes, yes, dirty competitive bounty hunters is like the yeah. Uh, doing Renegade. I don't know if anyone remembers the television show Renegade, but just doing Renegade, but in Star Wars, is a thing that appeals to me, and I get that that is somewhat niche, but I also think that it's a pretty good idea. It's a pretty good bad idea. But yeah, doing like not looking, not doing, yeah, doing like Cannonball Run, but in Star Wars. Like, sure, give me Rat Race, but Star Wars. It's probably another one. Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Deb. But yes, so about an hour into every stream, because we do stream, our build streams are 2 hours, because after 2 hours, I just start getting a little bad at model kit building. Let's be real. But that's why we do 3 streams a week of model kit building. So that way we get 6 hours in, but we kind of keep it to the 2 hours. So this is the halfway point, just about. Pause for the cause. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber here at the Build with Baer workshop, you can throw a bear cave, a Lego, the Scythe emote, let the people know that you are a subscriber. Dirty just already did it, and Jam threw them in there. Yeah, we'll throw the emotes in there. Using your Twitch Prime coin or your Amazon, because you linked your Twitch with Amazon, is a great way to support the stream. You could also use Cash Money if you were so interested in doing that. Subscribing really helps me build the channel out and continues to go. Anything I make through Twitch, my Patreon, which I'm going to link to in just a moment, if that's more your game, just goes to me buying kits and equipment. That's how we go. Donations, bits, and coins always appreciated. You can join the leaderboard. You could gift a sub to somebody if you wanted to gift that. That's another way to support the channel. I am an affiliate, and it is an easy way to support the streams is to do that. I'll link my Patreon here in just a moment. That's another way to support the streams. The $5 level gets you videos early and some of the other stuff I do. $10 lets you vote on what I build. And the $1 and $3 are just like kind of easy. The one is just like, hey, here's $1 a month, which adds up and is really nice. That is one way to do it. Also have donations. And as I said, all of those methods, all the money I make for various means goes into buying kits because, as we say, as you know, if I was a streamer that primarily played PUBG, well, I have already bought PUBG, and now I'm just playing PUBG a lot. But once I finish a model kit, that model kit is done. And that's basically it. So it is an expensive streaming thing. So if you can, that would be great. As always, folks are under no obligation to do anything like that. I'm about to put my wish list up on Amazon. You are under no obligation, but if you want to buy something for my wish list, I would really appreciate it. We are going to be good through most of this month as far as building goes. I do have a good little backlog. Let's see if I can mention anything that stands out on my stream. Yeah, we got some inexpensive Lego sets. Let's see, is there anything on sale? The 144 high grade, the red beret is from Bill Divers is on sale, so that's nice. The Garp ship from One Piece is a little cheaper than it's been. But yeah, you buy something on that, I build it on stream. That's how it works. I don't know who bought this. Do I ever paint kits? No. I don't. Where are the percentages for you? The best. So Patreon is I get more money through Patreon, but if you'd rather use Twitch, use Twitch. The numbers go up on Twitch, and you benefit other people by being on Twitch, so I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, I get a better percentage from Patreon, but I also understand if people don't want to use Patreon. So that's why I have those options. I have those options there for people to have different things. And also, there's different price tiers on Patreon, which is better than using Twitch. So I don't paint. Up until like last year was the first year that I started doing like lot more stickers, like doing water and dry transfers. I started doing more of that because yeah, I just never was really into painting. I also think that it wouldn't be able to keep conversations going, keep reading chat, and do the painting. Because even sometimes doing sticker work, I get flustered. I know myself enough to know that. I have a USA Gundam thing. You can buy gift cards and send me gift cards there if you'd rather do that than use Amazon. You just buy a gift card and you send me a whisper here or send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open. Let's see. What do I want to say here? I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. Folks say, like, Pat, nothing really happens on your Discord. You post photos. Sometimes people post photos of things they're working on. And I say, yeah, I want a Discord that you can check once a day or once every other day. Or if you checked it like once a week, you would just see some cool stuff. I zoned out a tall geese thruster the other day, so I know how that feels. Yeah, like, I want to. This is for me. This is also why I don't build longer than 2 hours a stream, because I know that once I pass that 2 hours, then I start like stumbling over my words even more than I do normally, or I just start like just feeling out of it. I've got these lights aren't terrible, but they are bright lights for the green screen, and yeah, after a while, I'm just like, well, I'm not feeling it. Real quick. I started a new series on YouTube. You can check out the first episode of Baering the List. It is a ranking show where every episode I grab something off the internet using a tier maker and rank it. This first episode, I rank the class 1A from My Hero Academia. Who belongs in the S tier? Who's in the B tier? Who's C tier? Who's D? And who belongs in a tier that I had to create specially for one character who is lower than E. I had to create, I won't say who, but if you've been watching the streams, you know who. You know who. You know who belongs in the bin, who's just the worst. But yeah, that's a new series I started, and you can check that out if you're interested. Yeah. So far, most people have been like, even the person who was like, "Oh, I wish you had ranked Jiro higher," but I get it. And then someone was just like, very excited. Uh, Someone was very excited about where I put like a person that is not controversial, but like I understand that some people don't like a particular character that I ranked very highly. Um, but as you know, I like a good villain that isn't a villain. It's one of my favorite characteristics in shonen is the you seem like a bad guy, but you're not. That's fun. Yes, not grind style. I get it. Um, is there this character would be forcibly evicted to another dimension tier? I mean, look, the nice thing about Tier Maker is you can make your own tiers. So, I haven't watched the video, but fuck them. Look, not grind style. As I said, I understand what you're saying, and I hear you. I hope that my reasoning for how the way I put it. Uh, I hope you can at least appreciate my feelings on Bakugo, even if you don't share them. I understand where you're coming from. I hear you. But yeah, I mean here's the whole thing. That's the thing with doing rankings and tiers and stuff. It's like people are gonna agree with me on some things. They're gonna disagree with me. I put someone in like my opinion. I talked to somebody about the list I put in, and I won't say where I ranked Momo, but like there was a conversation I had with a friend of mine who was just like he can't understand why my opinion of that character, like we just don't see eye to eye. And I was like, here's why I think the way I think. And it's like, okay. I tried to say my case for all the characters. So it's not always going to be anime. I look, yes, exactly. That's the thing. Like, I'm fine with it. Like, people are gonna have their own opinions, and that's the thing. People like in the show description of the video is the link to that on Tier Maker, and you can make your own tier if And I encourage people to do that. Next week is going to be a video game one, so next Wednesday I'll do another one. And look, do I know how many weeks of the year I'm going to do this? No, I just started doing it. I might get tired of it. I might run out of ideas of things I want to rank, and like, hey, guess what? There's a lot of tiers that are anime related, and I don't want to be only anime, but there will be anime because I have opinions on anime. Like eventually, I'm going to have to do the Black Bulls. I'm going to have to rank all of the Black Bulls from Black Clover. Speaking of which, here's the anime that I watched. As I said, let's see. 3 of them are new. One of them is ongoing. I want to do a waifu tier just to make people mad. Yeah, Look, I'm all in favor of best boy and best girl. That's generally how I like to look at things instead of waifus. Dirty says Hulu got me to continue my sub for this season. Look, you can look at this list here. 3 of the shows that I watched since Monday are Hulu shows. I would say that Crunchyroll didn't get a lot of stuff I want to watch this season. The weekend stuff, there's more stuff on the weekends that's good. I did like Fire Force. I think that Fire Force was kind of overlooked because last year was a very good year for shonen. So I think that Fire Force kind of like didn't get the love it should have. Because I think that like there's some really great characters in that show and really interesting storylines. And the fire the fire just looks so good. Yeah, I mean, like, look, as I said, I do like a character that looks like a villain. And the idea that people call him a devil and he just wants to be a hero. Because he's not as yelly as Asta is from Black Clover, who I love, but he's definitely, dumb. And I like a good dumb main character. But yeah, so Black Clover, some really good fights in this one. Asta being Asta and doing his thing. Yami shows up to be Yami. We get a little tease of Yami and Charlotte, although it's Charlotte being controlled by an elf, but like still vibes real well, which I really like. I like that like Charlotte's asleep in there, but is still vibing pretty good. And it's that look. Hey, Black Clover did the thing that I love in anime, especially in shonen anime, when like villains who are definitely fucking villains team up with the heroes to fight a bigger villain. Oh, I love that shit. I love that shit. That shit is classic and great. And maybe it's overplayed. But that shit is awesome. Like, Charlotte is being controlled by a reincarnated elf that wanted to go through this plan and do what needed to get done. But it's just like, devil is here. We got to fight this devil. I guess I'm teaming up with this human to fight this devil. And I'm just like, yep, in it to win it, here for it, happy to see it. Excited for more Black Clover. As you know, if you've watched these streams, you know I'm big into Black Clover. Sorcerous, Stabber, Orphen is back, y'all. Look, I'm old. I understand that you might not have ever heard of Orphen. Orphen wasn't a big hit over here. It came out in the 90s, and it's a very late 90s anime. You've got a mischievous, seemingly incompetent main character who is awesome and great at what he does, which in this case is being a cool wizard. But there's one thing about this show that I really like, which was in the original and this one, is it's not like a lot of people will compare this to Trigun, where you have your bumbling main character who is secretly a badass. But the thing is that Trigun is a mystery that's like over time you figure out what's going on. And Trigun is incredible. Don't get me wrong. I love Vash. I love Trigun. Orphen is just like, hey, this fucking thing happened. Didn't Orphen have a PS2 game? It did, Lashbrook, and that's actually a very good one. Orphen is just like, hey, this fucked up thing happened, and now here we are a couple of years later, and this is why this dude is the way he is, because this really fucked up thing happened, and so we're going to see what's going on. And there's more to the story, don't get us wrong, but we just want you to know that this thing happened. And like, obviously there's twists and turns that are going to happen, but it basically lets the audience know, hey, like, we're going to give you some info. We're not going to leave you completely in the dark, not knowing what's going on. We can tell you this about what's up. And I appreciate that. I think that's really cool of that show. I don't know if I'll stick with Orphen. Honestly, I'm still waiting on at least one show that hasn't debuted yet. I actually don't know when Quintessential Quintuplets debuts. It might be tomorrow. I gotta look that up because I think it was a January that that was gonna come out. But I honestly don't like the other shows I'm about to talk about here, including Orphen. I just don't know. I don't know with any of the shows I'm watching right now. Right now, of all of the anime that I'm watching, like, look, I'm gonna keep up with My Hero. I'm gonna watch Room Camp every episode, of course. And One Piece has been getting good. I'm going to keep watching Welcome to Demon School. But like Asteroid in Love, Senton Academy, Aizuken, I don't know if I'm going to keep watching any of those. I've only watched one episode. I don't know yet. One Piece has been... Look, the Wano arc is kind of incredible. They did do a couple weird filler things that weren't great, but overall, this One Piece arc has been phenomenal. So I am invested in it. this channel likes. Oh yeah, Big Mom. Yeah, and in that story arc, I thought ended really well, and also solved a big problem. Uh, yes, yeah, Dirty. Room Camp is going to be really easy to keep up with. It's 3 minutes. You can watch that no problem. Instead, the same thing with Yatagome-chan, which is another 3 minute one. Like, yeah, I'm not worried about, you know, being able to watch those when they come out on Mondays. Those are going to be easy to watch. But it's a thing of like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching Sentai Academy because the first episode I was like, meh. And speaking of meh, BOFURI, I think I'm gonna keep watching. Uh, so I do have a sandpaper stick. Yes, Joel, I usually do that after I'm done building. I will go in and do that. I usually don't do it while I'm building, but I do have a sandpaper stick for doing that kind of work. But I usually don't do it while I'm building. I usually just focus on the construction. But yes, I do that. Um, BOFURI is a great idea, but the first episode was slow in a way that I'm like, all right, well maybe I'll watch this. Uh, so there's this girl, right? And her friend is like been bugging her. You got to play this virtual MMO RPG with me. It's incredible. It's really great. You feel like you're there. I know you don't play games, but play this with me. And so our main character is like, great, I'll do that. Uh, yeah. And so she's like, sure, I'll do it. Well, it turns out the friend that's like, you should do this, can't play right now because she's got to study for exams or something. So she's not allowed to play the game. So our hero is like, well, I guess I'll just figure it out while we do it. And she like kind of knows what she's doing, but not really. So she just puts all her points into defense, like and then just keeps lucking into items. And she's making a weird build that is just very strong defense. And then, not really a spoiler, the first episode ends with her like defeating a boss she definitely shouldn't have defeated at her level, and she is so basically it's an isekai in an MMO, but it's not like God gave her these abilities or whatever. She's just making a build to be overpowered. She's making her own to steal some parts. Like she's making her own like overpowered character that she like put some abilities and stats into, but is not because like she was gifted from a friend like, oh, here's some healing items. So she had healing items to like make it so that she could then rebuild the stuff and all this other things. And she's just like kind of like lucking into things. Um and maybe it turns out that like her friend is probably like in a good guild or is a battler, and maybe her friend is like, I don't know, like maybe has ulterior motives. We're not too sure what's going on there. Um, but it seems kind of cool. It's slice of life but not really. I like adventurers. There are like 3 or 4 MMO anime or virtual reality anime, including another one that I'll be talking about next, which is got a terrible name. I mean, look, BOFURI, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. It's not a great name, but it's still better than Infinite Dendrogram. Infinite Dendrogram doesn't sound like anything. Infinite Dendrogram is a realistic MMO where you can do whatever you want. It's an MMO that like is a fantasy RPG or setting, but also you can have like mechs, and there's a guy in a bear suit, and anything can happen in it, and a bunch of things happen, and it's whatever. It seems fine. I could totally see myself just skipping Infinite and being like, oh, but there is one thing that's kind of interesting. It it's kind of interesting that this show, a premise in the show is that um, the NPCs can die, and if they die, they don't get reset, which is kind of interesting. And if you die, you are out of the game for 24. You're locked out of the game for 24 hours, which is really 72. So if you fail a quest, you could lose, like, basically that NPC is just going to die, which is kind of interesting. Uh, and then it ended with the unique thing that you get is an embryo, which is basically just like your, depending on the character, it can be anything, but it's your support, it's your NPC support, it's your, like, familiar, whatever you want to call it. And it turned out that his is a lady, like a battle maiden, who could turn into a sword. And I was like, damn it. That's a red flag right there. It feels like a real big red flag to me. Like, that doesn't sound, that, to me, like, I was like, oh, this is looking pretty cool. Oh, this is looking pretty cool. Oh, Josisaba. And I'm like, no. No. No, don't have a talking sword. Your thing is special thing that does this. Oh, man. The fact that his brother, who is, like, played for a long time, is in a bear costume, I think is a funny idea. And he says, like, Kuma at the end of his sentences. Like, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And I've seen that before, but it's still fun. Like, it reminds me a little of Log Horizon and the cat guy. That's kind of fun. But, like, the idea that he's got himself a, like, NPC girl sword, I was like, that, I don't know. That's a bad sign. We'll see. Oh, one thing I forgot about BOFURI, Dirty, you can let me know if you thought this was cool. I thought it was cool. In the opening song thing, they showed, like, a bunch of characters that we haven't seen yet, right? And they showed a duo that had big mallets. They're like big hammer mallets. And I was like, oh, I'm more interested. Like, I don't know anything about those characters. They could be great or terrible, but they were like a duo that uses big hammers in this fantasy game. And I was just like, what's up with them? I'm interested. I don't know why that got me more interested than some of the other characters you saw there, but that definitely did. Because I don't really care about, like, these, like, overpowered, I didn't even know about them from the manga. Oh, okay. I don't know the manga. I haven't read the manga. But they were, like, in that opening video, and I was like, they seemed neat. But who knows? Who the fuck knows, right? Right, everybody? Yeah, I would say this season, like, there's a bunch of, there's shows coming out that I just am not super interested in. I was kind of interested in that other dragon show, or the dragon show, like the Dragon Hunters that are like, it's like a steampunk thing, but that is on Netflix, but I'm not doing Netflix right now. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to watch that then. And let me look at, see if Annie chart is going to tell me. Haikyuu is probably one of the biggest things this season, but, like, I'm not super into sports anime. I know that Haikyuu is good, and if you're like, oh, I can't wait for my volleyball anime, like, that's great, enjoy it. But that just didn't look too good. I stopped watching Plunderer halfway through the first episode. I was like, nope. Maybe Plunderer will be good, but I don't think it will be. Nikupara is just on Funimation, I believe, and maybe it's just on Funimation, so I don't have Funimation right now, so I'm not going to watch that. Oh, let me find out what Dorita is on. That's coming out soon, right? What is that going to be? Is that going to be on Hulu? Please, I don't know where that's going to be. Shit. I don't know who's got that. That's the dragon head guy? I'm going to tell you the synopsis of this, the description of this show. The story revolves our Kindman, who does not remember who he was before he was transfigured by a magic user. This transformation left him with a reptile's head and a desire to find out the truth about who he really is. Accompanied by a female companion, he tracks down magic users in the hall and unceremoniously chomps down on their head, hoping to find out who it was that put him in this state. One by one, they witness this second man inside his head. And after pulling them back out of his mouth, he asks them all the question, what did the guy inside my head say? I don't know what the fuck that anime is about, but I kind of want to check it out and watch it. I very much want to watch it. It's a guy with a lizard head that bites people, like, that tracks down and is, like, immune to magic. So he's tracking down magic users and gonna to find out who the man inside his head is and why he's the way he is. And why wouldn't I want to watch that? I don't know who has it. I really don't want to. Look, as I said, right now, Nikopara is the only thing on Funimation that's not also on Hulu that I'm interested in right now. So I'm really hoping that either that show is on Crunchyroll or it shows up on Hulu, because it looks kind of neat. Oh, and then also, when does that come out? There's also that, like, Science Fell in Love. I don't know where that's going to be on. I'm interested in that as well, but I don't know who's got that. I also don't know if anything's on Amazon right now, because it's impossible to find out. I was saying that the other day. When it comes to Amazon, what ends up happening is on YouTube, someone will, like, posted a clip of, like, an anime, and I'll look at the clip and go, like, oh, I don't know what that is. And then I'll, like, Google it and then find out that it's streaming on Amazon. And that's how I find out. Because I just don't have a reliable way. Because even, like, AniChart's good, but AniChart is really focused on Funimation and Crunchyroll as far as, like, telling you where things are and how to get them, in my experience. So it can be rough if you're, like, trying to find out a thing about a show or where things are. So usually I just wait. And then I just check Crunchyroll every day. And then it's easier for Hulu to check Funimation's thing to see what Funimation has streaming that day, and then type that name of the show into Hulu's and to see if it shows up. That's how I find out if things are on Hulu, which is bad. But I don't know a better way, really. Like I said, because AniChart is pretty incomplete. They're really tracking new anime that's coming out in Japan, and are a little hard to find out, like, what's broadcasting. I just wish, like I understand sometimes, you know, it's part of the licensing deal. You can't say why a thing, like, when the thing is out and who has it and all that, but, like, it's fucking really annoying if you're, like, interested in a show. Or, like, I didn't really know. I go to the anime section of Hulu and check the simulcast subs. Yeah, and Dirty, sometimes it doesn't list things right away, though. Like, I'll go to Hulu, and I'll go to the, for me anyway, I'll go to the anime section. And then when I scroll down to simulcasts, like, it's listing most of the things. Oh, okay, it looks like it looks like it updated since I last looked. I'll give it that. It did update since I last looked. But for a long time it wasn't telling me that, like, a case file didn't show up at first. So, but yeah, that's another thing you just have to look at every day, though. Like, oh, okay, so Hulu has the other thing Hulu has is that Hanako-kun thing, toilet-bound Hanako-kun, which I know. Look, I know that Hanako is one of the like fable and myths that they tell Japanese kids about. Like, it's a school myth. I know that, but toilet-bound Hanako-kun sounds like an anime that I would be bummed out that people found out I watched. Right? Like, if it was like, you're watching, what are you watching? It's a fantasy thing about a ghost that's tied to a school bathroom. And, you ask it for wishes and there's consequences. And then it's going to be looking at, it's a myth, it's a fable thing in Japanese culture. And it's one of the stories you tell kids. I feel like, no, get out of here. Like, it's one of those, it's like a grim fairy tale. It's fine. No. Uh, I'm sure it's going to be an okay show. But that's what I feel like about a lot of stuff that's out this season. Okay. Uh, wait, quintessential quintuplets? When is season 2 of that coming out? Because I know there's a season 2, and I thought it was this month. Second season has been announced. Feelings for second season has been announced as far as we got there. But I thought for sure that it was January, but I'm just seeing TBA. So I guess the second season of Quintessential Quintuplets, because I thought for sure, because it was a year ago, because it premiered last year in January. So I thought for sure that it would be out in January this year, but I guess I'm wrong. Look, We Never Learn is a better show than Quintessential Quintuplets, but Quintessential Quintuplets is a fine enough romantic comedy and does have characters that I like in it. And there's kind of a fun idea. So I'm fairly okay with that show. It's not my favorite by any means, but it's an alright show. So I will say that I would recommend it if you like romantic comedies. It's a pretty good one. It's a dude doesn't have the money, really struggling with money because of his parents, and has to think about his younger sister. Doesn't want to tutor quintuplets who are all averaged together terrible. Like, even with their averaging, all their scores are terrible at subjects, and are very different kinds of people. And he's like very oblivious to various members of them having crushes on him. And there's some shenanigans because they're very different people. And it's the whole thing. It's a romantic comedy and whatever. And there's like also a weird thing in that show where he was kind of a delinquent and he got serious about helping his family because he met a young girl that inspired him to be better, and that's one of the sisters, but he doesn't recognize that it's one of the sisters, which doesn't make any sense. And because he looked different, none of the sisters remember him, or maybe that he didn't have a big impact on them. But or one of the sisters is lying and we don't know. It's a whole thing. But I don't know. It's a fine enough show. I'm really hoping the second episode of Isaacin really surprises me in a good way, because I think the first episode was fine. But one, I love the art style. It's the Devilman Crybaby director, and the art style, it just looks cool and interesting. And I also like anime about manga and anime, and appreciating anime and manga, and like, I don't know, I'm interested in the idea and the what's within the anime and what's reality kind of a thing. Could be cool. I think it's like a cool premise. So I'm interested in seeing more of that. And there's the only isekai this season is ReZero, director's cut, which doesn't appeal to me so great. Because I think Villainous is next season, or it's halfway through this season. But the that villain anime, villain, which I can't remember the name of. It's Villainous anime. I don't know when that comes out, but that's a good. That's just a good premise. So I will be checking that out when it comes out, because it's just like I said, just a good strong premise for an anime. The idea that it's uh, she realizes that she has been reborn, but she is the villainous character in a story, and all routes lead to her death at the end of the story, and she's aware of that. So then she's got to figure the things out. And I'm like, that seems cool. I'll give that a shot. But yeah, if you got stuff that you're watching right now that you're into, let me know. I always like hearing from people if there's any shows that you're watching this season. There's still new stuff to come out because it's only been a week. So right now, my stuff is, the things I talked about today: My Hero, Aizuken, Room Camp, Yatagome-chan, Senton Academy, One Piece, Asteroid in Love, and Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Because Demon School is like a double season. So, and I wasn't really watching that at the beginning. I caught up with it because there was time to watch shows at the end of this last season, and I wish I'd been watching the whole time because it's cute and there's some good character work in it. It is a fun show that I would recommend if you're looking for a funny show. We're getting a little plot coming up. We've been kind of told there'll be some betrayals coming, but overall, it's a solid, fun one. Even though it's been a pretty light show, looks like they're throwing a little drama in there, which happens. We're going to go till 11 p.m. Eastern. If there's anything you want to chat about tonight for the rest of the stream, let me know. It's been a pretty chill, quiet stream. A reminder, if that your subscription, if you use Twitch Prime, you've got to manually renew that. We did had a drop like literally during the stream. We did drop. The goal is to be at 40 subs. We are at 36 right now. I know that last month we had Silver Streak did gift some subs, and those people may not choose to renew. You can always renew your gift sub if you'd like to do that. You're under no obligation, but if you'd like to, that's fine. A little bit of a light, chill vibes tonight here on a Thursday. That's fine. As we build this kit here. I'm putting it on the wrong way. That's why it won't go on. Yeah. Cool. All right. Getting our legs together there. I finished my real grade Banshee Norn a few days ago. I'll put it in the Discord soon. Thank you. Please do, Ultron. Man, the Banshee Norn, I built that. I built that kit. That's a lot of fucking... I don't know if I ever want to do another Norn. The Banshee. I like that kit, but that's a lot of goddamn work. That kit is just... You gotta really put your back into it. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like the kit. It's just dang. You really gotta There's just a lot of orange pieces that you have to cover up with sliding black pieces. It's just a lot. This time next week, I'll be in San Antonio for PAX. I think they're gonna have Windjammers too. Oh heck yeah, Lashbrook! Enjoy PAX. I had hoped that this year I would be hitting PAX South. That Crunchyroll Games would have me come down with them, but they had enough people to run their booth. So I am not going to PAX South, which is okay. But yeah, would have been fun to go, but I'm all right with that. Have a great time. One of these days, one of these years, I'll get back to PAX South because I enjoyed the 2 years I went there. So hopefully someday I will return. I'll make my triumphant return. Crunchyroll Games will have a booth at PAX South. Yes, that's true. This is it's their first time doing a booth at PAX. They did a booth at a bunch of. They've been doing like game. They haven't really done that many gaming cons. They've been doing gaming stuff at other things. So they have a lot of mobile games that are like branded with Crunchyroll. They're partners with. So they're going to start doing. They've been doing PAX South. I don't know if they're not doing PAX East. They originally were going to. So yeah. So Crunchyroll Games will have a booth. If you go check them out, please say hello to Kahil, who used to help out with PAX and doing panels and stuff, and is the person that approved the first League of Heels show. So we have him partially to blame for a lot of dumb stuff that we did. But yeah, so the Crunchyroll Games will be there with some of their stuff. It's not like the full like anime stuff. It's focusing on the game properties. But yeah, it should still be a good booth. See some cool games. I think the Mob Psycho game just came out or just got an update. So that'll be playable along with some other stuff. I don't really pay attention to the mobile games because a lot of them are gacha games, which are not my thing. No issues if that's your thing. If that's your thing, no, I got no issues with them. Just not my kind of games. But yeah, have fun, Lashbrook. I'll get back to South one of these days because I really enjoy it. Right now, I know that I will be working with Crunchyroll at later in the year. Looks like I'll be doing some booth stuff. And then, I don't know if I've said this in 2020, so I'll say it now because it's always important to say. When I talk about anything that I'm watching on Hulu, know that I pay for my Hulu account, and that while it's fine that they're on there because I'm paying for my Hulu account, it is annoying that so many shows I'm watching are on Hulu because you have to watch ads, and that sucks, and I hate it because I'm paying the money and I still watch ads. If I talk about anything on Crunchyroll, know that I was gifted an account with Verve, and I do not pay for that Crunchyroll account. And so anything you could take what I say about that with a grain of salt if you'd like. But I don't have any agreements, anything about what I say or anything like that. But, it is important to say that now and again for people especially people who are new to the stream, to just know what I'm about. To me, that is an important element of this, is being honest about that stuff. Believe me, if Crunchyroll want to sponsor anything I do, they know where to find me. And I will be happy to. And of course, you would know. You would always know. Because that's important. Gotta say those things. Gotta talk about those things. You just gotta. All right. Well, we got a few more minutes left. Let's see. How much more do we have to build here? You know what? We're gonna finish this up tonight. So even if we go a little over 11, we are gonna stick this out. So I hope that people can stay for a little bit. Like, I'm not talking about like going to midnight or anything, but I'm talking about like I gotta finish the waist here, and then I gotta build one weapon. Like, this ain't gonna take long. Uh, yeah, this is not gonna take long to do. So we'll go to like maybe 11:15 or so. But I don't want to like almost finish this kit and then have to like finish it up on Saturday. I'd rather just start my next kit on Saturday, which right now I'm not sure which one it's going to be. It'll either be the Exia or it'll be our Initial D car kit. I'm waiting to see what the voting is on my Patreon. And, I can say this. My next Pat Bear's Anime Club, the video that I'm going to be putting online, which will come out on Monday, will be a me talking about the anime awards, which are a Crunchyroll thing, because the voting will start and they'll announce the people in the categories, the nominees, tomorrow. So I will be watching tomorrow, and right, yeah, because tomorrow's the tomorrow's the 10th. So tomorrow they'll announce it, and the polls will open, and I will just give a post on Monday my picks for it, because I think that will be maybe it'll be helpful for some people. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do like who I want to. Yeah, I think I'll do who I want to win and who I think is going to win. I think that's how I'll do that, because I think that can be fun to just like be like, well, this is the best boy, this is the best protagonist in this category, or well, yeah, this is the best villain, but this other thing will win because this anime is not super popular, or because this anime is incredibly popular. Like Demon Slayer is going to win a bunch of stuff, even though like the best girl is probably from Love is War, like that kind of thing. Like, oh well, she's probably the best girl, but Nadesco is going to win because people really like that character. It's just stuff like that. You know, you guys know, you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean. Like, it's a popularity contest, right? It's not going to, best fight isn't going to be from Fire Force. It's going to be a My Hero fight. And yeah, the My Hero fights this season have been incredible. But like, dang if some Black Clover wasn't really good. Like, won't be a good one. Oh, versus the Imagination Kid, whose name I can't remember. Like, that fight is really good. I'm doing it a disservice by not remembering the name of one of the people that fought, but it is a really good fight. Sho versus his brother in Fire Force is a really great fight. Really emotional, cool fight. I don't think that's going to win. I think it's going to be like a late entry from My Hero, Season 4. Because people really fucking like My Hero Academia. Weird, right? They really like it. They're really interested in that show. And Mob was the beginning of 2019, so I don't think Mob Psycho is going to do super well in a lot of stuff because it came out at the beginning of the year, even if it's fucking good as shit. All right, now we can start putting stuff together here. We're getting ready to do this. I don't know why this has a big red thing here in the front, but it does. Death Army is a weird looking kit. It's a weird looking model. Mobile suit. It's got green gauntlets for no good reason. Why does it have green gauntlets? It's It doesn't fit with the color scheme at all. Why does it have a big red, like, waist crotch? I don't know, but it does. I've been thinking about rewatching Mob. I mean, Mob Season 2, Lashbrook, is fucking so good. You know. You already know. You already know. It's very earthy scheme. Indeed, Ultron. It is. I mean, Mob Season 2 is so great. Watching Mob, like, watching our boy, like, just evolve as a person and grow and change, and, like, really start to understand who he is. And there's so many good, like, callbacks to the first season and characters that, like, reappear and just do good work. And some real fucked weird shit happens too. Some good nonsense in that show that I'm a big fan of. All right, what's this? Oh yeah, all right. So yeah, a thing this can do is, like, you could just do this if you want. I don't know why. They're like, oh yeah, you could have it so it looks like it has multiple legs. Why you would do that, I don't know. But you can. You could transform it into, like, a different mode, but it's not really a different mode. And you would put these other legs on there, which we're not going to do. So we'll just put its gun on. Because it's not really another mode. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. So we also have the club hand. So the club hand, you use this hand here to hold it like a club, and then you use the other hand here to hold it like a gun. We'll hold it like a gun that has a weird club to it, and then of course it just pop right off. All right, and that is our kit. That is the Death Army, which is the Devil Gundam's Army mobile suits, which is just a fun little kit, good one-stream build. I think it looks really neat. As I said, this came out in 2019. I was very surprised when I saw it available because I didn't think I would ever have this kit. Because when did they put out G Gundam kits? And obviously, 25th anniversary of the debut of G Gundam, but when do we? The only time we see G Gundam stuff is occasionally we see G Gundam stuff show up in like build divers or whatever, or build fighters. Like occasionally we see that. But so yeah, kind of weird, really good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time tonight. Our next stream is on Saturday. I will be either working on the Exia or working on a car kit from Initial D. Do not know which one we'll do. I'm going to run an ad. You're more than welcome to just, stop watching. But if you can watch that ad, it does benefit the stream. But I hope to see you on Saturday. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your night. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.